Here I am. Should I not be up there? Of course. Thank you, Manji and Neeraj. These are the challenges I have to overcome every day and in every city. This is what makes me disabled. 7 months ago, I went to Copenhagen, Denmark to attend a Women Deliver conference because I was invited as a speaker to talk on the issues of women with disabilities. The hotel I stayed in was completely accessible. Even the mirrors were low enough where I could see my face. Everything was accessible. There, I did not feel disabled because I could roll my wheelchair everywhere and I did not have to be lifted up. Everything was accessible for people in wheelchairs: buildings, public bathrooms, boating, venues, and transportation. But this doesn't happen in my country. I live in Kathmandu, the capital city of Nepal, which is not accessible for people in wheelchairs. There are two main reasons we face on a daily basis. One is physical barrier, and another is misconception towards people with disabilities. We have been excluded from the education, employment, participation, and many other opportunities due to lack of accessible buildings, transportation, roads, and toilets. We are viewed as objects of pity and charity. We are viewed as incapable and useless. Being a disabled woman means we are marginalized twice. First, being disabled, and second, being a woman. We are not accepted as women, especially from women without disabilities. Surprisingly, a lot of discrimination comes from women. We are oppressed by the oppressed gender because we don't fit into the so-called female image. I have been told many times with sorrowful voices, "You are beautiful, but you are in a wheelchair. I'm so sorry, so sad." I wonder why the but and why sorry. People even ask me, how do you manage to smile? And 1,000 of times I hear how much I am their source of inspiration. Am I their source of inspiration just because I am a smiling person in a wheelchair? Let me tell you one interesting thing. I have heard and I have read in the Bibles and many other religion mythology that disabled people have no place in heaven. So I was curious why I have no place in heaven. And you know, these days we can find anything on Google. So I Googled and I found this: stairways to heaven. Now I can understand why I have no place in heaven, because the heaven is not wheelchair accessible. Disability is seen as something bad and useless. In Nepal, it is also viewed as a punishment for past sins. Now, you might be curious why I am in a wheelchair. Well, I was about 3 years old when my family had a bus accident. I lost all my family members and I survived with that accident with a spinal cord injury. At the age of 5, luckily, at the age of 5, I came to the SOS Children Villager Party, which is specialized on children with disabilities. There, I got my new family and I received a new wheelchair. My new home was totally wheelchair friendly, so I was able to do everything by myself and I did not have to be disabled. But I did not want to be limited to the house. Like every other child, I also wanted to go to school, play outside, and participate in various activities. Unfortunately, it was not possible for me because my school was not accessible. I had to study at home, and it was very difficult for me to attend the exams without taking classes. For all those reasons, I started blaming on my disability, and I hated myself being in a wheelchair. During my teenage, I lost my self-esteem. I was depressed. But with the help of my SS family, I completed my school and passed with first division. During my high school, like any other teenager girls, I also wanted to be a model. But I was prepared that I might not be accepted because, modeling, glamorous fashion all is considered for people who could walk or have a kind of perfect body. But well, I think I have a perfect body. The good news was I was accepted as a model, and they published my pictures on their website. After a few days, some media approached me for the interviews. Well, I did not get many offers, but some people started knowing me as the first wheelchair model. It was something that built up my confidence, and I used that platform to advocate for the rights of people with disabilities. I was lucky to get so much support from my SOS family and friends, which helped me to overcome from my own negative attitude. I was enabled to explore the opportunities. But there are many people who are not as fortunate, who are even discriminated, neglected, overprotected from their own families. Many are depressed and isolated. I see a lot of people who are going through the same phases as I did. Many of think that they cannot do anything. On the other hand, many are looking for a platform where they can improve their skills and confidence. So, I want to see a society where we are not viewed as objects of pity and charity, where we are not patronized. I wish to see a Kathmandu where we are not stared at with pitiful eyes, where people with and without disabilities are interacting, laughing, working side by side, and enjoying life to the fullest. I work at Karuna Foundation, Nepal, which works for the rights of people with disabilities. My project, Embrace the Change, will be one of the projects of Karuna. It will advocate for the rights of people in wheelchairs through provoking and humorous media campaigns. There is a misconception that people in wheelchairs cannot complete their daily routines without the help of someone else. Many people even ask us, how do we cook? How do we take a shower? There are so many questions. People believe that life is very different and difficult for all wheelchair users. This belief is limiting the integration of people in wheelchairs to the society. So, my project, Embrace the Change, will make the videos where people in wheelchairs are doing many things. And those videos will be uploaded on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. It will also create the awareness that our disability has nothing to do with our ability. It will also pressurize the government to implement the laws and policies where people in wheelchairs can live a dignified life and a barrier-free society. I grew up hearing the term wheelchair bound. I read in the newspaper, wheelchair bound. Many people think my wheelchair is my barrier. No way. My wheelchair is not my barrier, and I'm not bound to my wheelchair. In the opposite, it is my freedom tool. It enables the opportunities and opens the door to the world. Something I realized in Denmark 7 months ago. If the whole world was like Denmark, I would not be disabled at all. Thank you very much.